You already know I'm here with my best friend, my brother from another, and I'm willing to find out what would he do if we gave him 4 margaritas.
I ain't hungry. I'm starving for this. This means so much to me. The mental frustration I done had these last 2 weeks. Everything with just being on the side, man. Not feeling like I can help you guys on the field. And I know everything is in front of us. And I don't have to give y'all no rah-rah speech. I shouldn't have to give nobody in this room no get up and go, no go juice, no none of that. It's understood. It's understood. It's understood who we are. It's understood what we work for, and it's understood what we want to accomplish.
We bike. We bike. We bike.
Yes, sir. What's going on? What's good, man?
You know,
you caught me off guard. Caught me off guard with the 4 margaritas. I will say that.
No telling what anybody's gonna do off 4 margaritas. Especially if they give you
Once
the little side part.
Once it hits the lips, keep it flowing, man. Keep it flowing, man.
Hey, man, you know, margaritas are a dangerous thing. You know, they mask all that extra awesomeness behind it. So you never know. You know,
salt on the brim.
Depending on the flavor of the margarita, if it's more of like a sweeter one, yeah, we're going salty. If it's like a sour bitter, grapefruit, I feel like you don't need the. I've actually never had a grapefruit margarita.
First of all, I went to Sandbar in Arizona, so before you go there, I just don't judge me. Don't judge me.
No judgment passed. Hey, we've all gone to the bar and like. You know, got your girl or your wife or, you know, somebody a drink. And then you like,
what's up, Todd?
They be like, just taste it. You taste it. You be like, that's actually really, really good.
Yeah, I ain't going to even front. So back in the day, right, me and my wife would we would go to this restaurant and they had the best iceberg. So basically what it was like a margarita, but it was frozen. And they call it like the iceberg because they put the tequila in it and float. And they put like sugar on the brim. And like, mind you, 6'3", kind of big guy. I don't want nobody looking at me. I'm like, yo, let me get the iceberg, put it in a man cup, please.
Well, see, I think the thing is the reason the margarita works is because you don't have to necessarily drink it from the straw, so you don't got to be like, you know, you can just sit there and like kind of like a slushy almost, you know, like that. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been guilty of it too. You know, go to not Margaritaville. What's it called? It's called Bahama Breeze. Y'all got Bahama
Breeze? Yes.
Now see, Bahama Breeze got the Bahamarita, and you get the side carts on it. Hey, look, I've had a couple nights. All right,
I've dibbled and dabbled. Okay,
I've dabbled. Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Todd. Shout out to Cozy. Cozy said no salt on my margaritas.
Hey, it depends.
Yeah,
the sweet, see, I feel like the sugar on the margarita the sugar on the brim sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah. The original Swoop Boys, salt on regular margs, not the fruity one. Yeah.
Oh man, that is too funny. Hey man, we got a special guest. Been in the Eagles community for a long time. Has dope artwork straight out of PA. Now he's on the West Coast with us now, so it was something that had to happen, right? It was something. It was like, hey, Eagle fans connect together, move from the East Coast, now relocate to the West Coast. Let me go ahead and bring in my guy Greg from Brotherly Love.
What up, guys?
What's going on?
What up, yo?
How you living, baby? Man? I love the background, by the way. I didn't get to tell you that before we went
thanks.
Live.
It's a little peek into the lab here, cooking up the concoction. So,
thanks. Hey, man. So if you guys aren't familiar, goes by Brotherly Life on the gram. You know what I'm saying? Brotherly Life Philly, and his artwork is absolutely phenomenal. So the thing is, the way he's able to go ahead and turn, because I swear, right after you might recognize his artwork, like, you know, right after a no hitter, literally. You know,
this one was so cold, bro. When you put this up, I said, "Ooh, Greg's in the bag."
How did you like? I swear, like the no hitter happened, and then I feel like I got on like the gram, and then it was there. Like,
well, he was working on it like in the 7th inning.
No, I gotta be honest. Actually, I had done that Lorenzen picture a few days earlier because he had that great start. 8 innings.
8 innings. Yeah.
I was like, man, welcome to Philly, and so I drew him in. The uniform that he had pitched in, and then when the no hitter was going on, I was like, oh man, I could update his uniform. So those are the tricks of the trade sometimes to see people reusing a little bit of content here and there. But I definitely wanted to post something for that because that was just amazing.
Well, if there's one to pose it for, that was definitely one. Like,
that was totally.
I mean, that was
lucky.
And then I'm gonna pick out my other favorite one. It's the one that you did. And Nick Sirianni was wearing this on a press conference.
Major.
Yo, this the dynamic duo one. This joint was one of my favorite joints, man. How did you feel when Nick was wearing that joint in the press conference? Was you like, yo, we made it?
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, it wasn't something, especially being on the West Coast, things happen a little earlier sometimes. So all of a sudden my phone started blowing up and, getting messages from people. But just the timing of that was amazing because I think it was like the week before the NFC Championship game and definitely during the playoffs. And so, seeing him in clips on ESPN, wearing that T-shirt, it was really, really cool to see. He's, I've sent him stuff from time to time, and he's worn that Slim Reaper shirt you were talking about, King. So
So before we started, I have the original Slim Reaper T-shirt bought from Greg. It's probably one of my favorite artworks that he's done. When I first seen it, I was like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm copping." So,
I'm excited.
For me,
go ahead, Greg.
No, I was going to say for me, I'm always trying to, draw stuff that I want to wear, in a lot of ways, and the same thing with comics. A lot of it I just do to make myself laugh. If I get a chuckle out of it, then I'm gonna draw it, and hopefully other people get a chuckle out of it.
Yeah, too, so. For sure.
I mean, the work speaks for itself. I'm super excited because I have the Philly Dogs one. It's like it says it's coming today, so I'm like, I can't wait. I'll get the rep.
Yeah, that's been a good seller. The Georgia Delphia Bird Gang.
Yeah, I love that, man.
I love that one. I love that one, and then the one that you got on about to order that one from you. The Air Jalen.
Air Jalen available now.
I love that.
Don't sleep.
And congratulations to Jalen Hurts for signing up with a big brand of Jordan brand. I'm a sneakerhead. I'm pretty sure you see it in the back. I have over at least 400 pairs of shoes. Jordan's in particular is probably my thing because I was born in the 80s, grew up watching Jordan. And so when I see Jordan and I see greatness, right? 6 championships, the legacy speaks for itself. And then for Jalen to jump on that brand, and there's some things that I see with Jordan and Jalen, and I'm like, man, yes. I mean, the swag, like
that fit. I need those pants. I ain't even capping. I need those pants, and I need those mochas.
Facts. So with that being said, we've already had Jordan players have already came in with the play for the Eagles, right? We had Alshon, we had T.O. When T.O. was with the team, we were getting PEs like this. We were getting the forest green Jordan 14s. Yep. What do you guys think if we're going to be able to get more PEs for the fans? Because let's be honest, it's hard for us Jordan heads / Eagle fans to match with our colors. It's really hard, man. Like, Greg, I know you got your first pair of Jordans when you were a kid. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, with the Kelly green, I love the Jordan 1s with the black and green. I think those are cool, especially the ones that are more, majority black. I think if Jalen can come out kicking those this year, I think those would be pretty cool. But I think those Jordan 1s work with kind of the midnight green and the Kelly green, to be honest. So those are definitely my favorite. I love that original Jordan 1 look. So
See, he's original. I like that. That's my man.
All right, man.
That's my man, Joe.
The Jordan 1 silhouette is. You know me. I'm a 1 silhouette guy all day, every day.
I thought you were a 3 guy.
I love the 3s, the 1s, the 3s, and if I'm feeling it, I'm gonna throw on the 11s. Like I'm really. If you see me in the 11s, I'm really feeling myself.
Yeah, same here. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, when I wore the 11s, that patent leather, it'd be my pinky toe be getting ready to box. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm ready for that day, right? I'm ready.
Yeah. You don't know.
I'm ready for that day.
You don't know the trick?
What's the trick?
All right. I learned this from my mom. I learned this from my mom, bro.
Oh man. Is this like a high heel type of
Yeah, it's a high heel hack, bro.
I gotta hear this.
So and this is also a Jordan fashion, because remember when he hurt his ankle, they had to put the extra padding in the ankle to support. So just like his ankle, and if you need the extra support on your pinky toe, because the joint be rubbing up on it, you just get a Band-Aid and you wrap the Band-Aid around your pinky toe, but you put the padding up on the side where the toe meets it. And if you need a little bit of extra padding, you get a cotton ball and you can put that and wrap that around.
Shout out to Mob Deuce, yo.
That is, it works. It works. So
shout out to Mob
Deuce,
yo.
I was like, hey, how you know about this? She's like, shit, I gotta do that sometimes when my heels be hurting my toes. I was like, damn.
Funny. That's too funny. Before we start and we get into some more questions, we definitely gotta say our guy, our boy, a special happy birthday to Coach Walk.
It's your birthday.
Special happy birthday to him, part of Swoop Boys. He does so much for us. So happy birthday, and we love you, big bro. Love you.
Happy birthday, Marlon.
All right, man. So let's get into it. What are you excited about tonight's game, Greg? What you looking forward to?
Yeah, for me, I think I'm on full alert for Georgia-Delphia, Bird Gang. I want to see some more Swift. I want to see some more Jalen Carter swatting people out of the way and getting the quarterback. I want to see Nolan. I want to see, I guess, Nakobe Dean is going to be playing tonight. So, and I'd love to see that kid Ricks get some more playing time. I know he's on, we've got a lot of depth at corner, but that pick 6 last week was, man, that was nice. So I'd like to see him get a little bit more time as well.
Man, you ain't lying. That's on Swoop Boys, as we were talking about yesterday, just the depth at corner. I think the Birds love the trenches, but I think this might be one of the first years they kind of shorten up the trench depth to go ahead and maybe keep a couple of these skill guys, like these cornerback. They're all making it a case. That's who we couldn't remember yesterday. Ricks. We couldn't remember him.
No, it was McPherson's. I couldn't remember.
No, but me when I was like, there's another guy that we kept looking. Okay. We were like, Rick. It was Eli Ricks.
Eli Ricks. I love how deep we are. The depth pieces are in the cornerback room. So I'm really excited about that with Ringo. I'm a big Ringo fan. I wanted to draft him.
Yes, sir.
Ricks, you got McPherson, you got Job. I don't know if you guys seen this morning with the Eagles. The Eagles media team. Shout out to the media team. Shout out to the Eagles, bro. Team. No, they are with it. They with it. You know what I mean? Like they witty with it. I think it was Devontae was on the sideline. Was like, yo, trust what you see. Trust what you see. Remember, I was talking about this. I said, yo, FBI, football intelligence, man. Like you gotta have that when you're a corner. So, he goes right back to Josh Jobe, and Josh Jobe literally interception. Like this, the talent that I see, and I'm super like Greg. I'm super pumped to see these guys, and just get some more reps. More reps. It's the thing, right? That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And speaking of Devontae and him getting some love by the media team, do you guys think Devontae might be a needy player?
Say I'm a needy player.
I think so.
I need a towel.
Let me get a skull.
Hey, I can get one of them towels. Towels. Grab me a towel.
Towels. It's raining. You need that.
I need to put the on my head.
My man. They were going in. Let me get 2 Scolies. Let me get 2 Scolies.
Now, to be fair, that was the Jacksonville game, most of those clips. And I was at that game last year.
Oh, you were?
And I was miserable. I mean, I think I did a comic strip that day that had rain, going sideways outside the stadium. So that was the coldest I've ever been in kind of an early season game, just with the rain and the wind blowing. So I'm with Smitty a little bit on this one. I didn't see too many clips outside of that crappy weather game, so I don't think he's that.
But just the way that he wasn't even he wasn't saying, please, hey Pete, let me get 2. My cleat rip.
Nah, the cleat ripping is crazy. Like, well, how'd your cleat rip? What?
Well, you know why? And I'm okay. And we all play football, right?
Yeah.
When you have cleats, you never play with brand new cleats. You
never.
Always never. Because your dogs will be barking. So you wear when you have cleats, you bring them from high school, whatever, you stay the same size, right? But I think those some of the cleats that he brought from Alabama or into his rookie year. So I think that's because that's the way it is.
Probably right. You're probably right.
Yeah, because you wear the same cleats over and over and over because I'm telling you, wear some brand new Jones, boy. Ooh. Yo, you gonna take your shoes off. Your feet gonna be doing gang signs. Blood, crip, all of it. So I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be cramping up. You better chill out. Wear some padded socks.
No, you're right. Because I haven't had cleats rip on me, but I actually did have one time the bottom rip, like the bottom separated.
Gotcha.
And it almost like my cleat basically blew out. It was kind of crazy.
I got you.
I can't go against Smitty though. That's my guy. So anyone that follows me knows Smitty's my guy. He's been my guy. Well, they got the Hope poster in the background. I did that his rookie year. So,
okay, Greg. There was one thing that you did, and that I really love, and I'm hoping this goes on a T-shirt. I'm not sure if this is on a T-shirt or not. What was the one, John, that you did with the one hand when he caught it in that Niner game?
Yeah.
That joint was fire.
I haven't put that on a T-shirt yet, but I can definitely. There's 2 pictures. That one and the one that he was caught kind of falling backwards out of bounds. I think his rookie year, maybe against the Giants. I mean, he's just so smooth, man, and just so athletic, and everyone was worried about his size when he came into the league and being skinny, but I think he really uses that to his advantage. He can just change direction so quickly, and he's such a smooth route runner.
It's the way, it's on the Swoop Boys Instagram. We had a short video on there where you just see it's like he takes that step, and it's like a stutter step, and like the guys bite all the time, and the next thing you know, he's like the way he's able to go from that one step and then just pivot and then just take off. They literally stand no chance. Or the way he can stop on a dime and then hit the double move. It's absolutely insane. And I mean, I get why you feel that way, because Smitty kind of represents the beginning of all of this. This golden era of Eagles football we're entering right now. He was the first guy to come in and first round,
Yeah, I think for a while we also weren't taking a lot of players from the SEC. And, I think as a fan, you're going, we're all watching college football and going, how can you not be taking players from, arguably the best conference in college football? And so I think that mentality of just not only playing against top talent every weekend in the SEC, but just coming in with a winning mentality and knowing how to work, and having had a coach like Saban, who just loves the grind and the process of just building a team and getting them ready to win national championships every year. I think those guys, and I think that's why a lot of these Georgia guys, and why I'm excited to have those types of guys on the team, is, these big moments don't feel that big when you've been playing big games, your whole college career, probably your high school career.
And that's another reason it's so exciting for all the Georgia Bulldogs coming in, because it's like all of these guys, pro style offenses and defenses. The coaches, they run their programs like the pros, 0 tolerance, no BS. Like the coach's hand is rule. Like, so, and then they're always playing in big games. Like, what, Jalen playing like 2 or 3 like championships before he actually came to Philly? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you see him in the Super. Like he's going in the Super Bowl and he plays his best game of his life because he's like been here before.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me get
And
to the
I
comments
think
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, and just the growth from, he didn't have the best playoff game in Tampa that first year, and just to see him really come back, I think that really fueled him going into last season. So I'm excited. I know everyone's seen the screenshot now of his lock screen on his phone being him walking off the field in the Super Bowl. So I'm hoping that's the fuel he can use this year to keep everyone up.
I'm surprised we didn't get a Jalen with the confetti around him from you.
Ooh.
I feel like you could kill that.
You never know what could be in the works.
and ladies and gentlemen, that's an Easter egg. So make sure you stick with us till the end of this episode.
Sure is.
Go ahead, King. Run those comments, my brother.
Yeah, let's get to the comments real quick. We got sorry. What's up, my cousin Jordan? What's up, fellas? What's going on? As you guys know, it's Mark's birthday. Oh, it's not Marcus's birthday. He said thanks for having a conversation in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We also got amazing artwork, most definitely, bro. Like Greg has been on it. I don't know. I feel like you're one of the ones that got your pulse like right on it, bro. Like you're on it. When I see stuff, I'm like, yo, no, he did not just make that. That is crazy. So
I'm just a fan, man. I'm just a fan. I mean, that's where it all comes from my heart, like any Eagles fan. And so just living it my whole life, and I was at the last game at the Vet NFC Championship game. I think I didn't speak for probably 6 months. I feel like after that game. So I've been through the ups and downs, and so like all of us, just wear my heart on my sleeve, and that was a lot of why I started doing what I was doing. I just felt like I had something I wanted to say, and times I wanted to say things, and so used my artwork to do that.
I mean, that's similar to why we started this podcast. Like, same thing, we had feelings and emotions, and we wanted to get them out, and here we are. So it's everyone just expressing themselves. Chat is going crazy. They loving you, Greg. They loving you.
They loving Greg, bro. Jalen definitely got that Jordan drive. Most definitely. Shout out to Todd. Got to represent the brand. Rico West, what's up? We in the building. We outside.
My Twizzy.
We outside.
Make sure y'all tap in with him and Cozy tomorrow. Yes, you already know what they do on Fridays.
Marcus, him and his Jordan 12s. That's his favorite.
Wait, so it's your birthday?
Who?
No. Oh, because I know Cozy. Well, Twizzy's birthday just happened, and then it's Coach's birthday.
It's Coach's birthday. Yeah. Rico's Confessions.
I think that was the toe. Yeah,
that was the toe.
Yeah, that
was definitely the toe thing.
Hey, I bear it all. I bear it all in this podcast for you guys. That's how I love you guys.
For sure. This was a good one. Danny G said Trey Sermon. Greg, what are you looking forward to, Trey Sermon? I feel like this is somebody that was claimed off waivers, right? We got him from the Niners. Game one between the Ravens. I think he displays some great amount of work, and you've seen him in person because he played a hell of a game with the limited snaps that he had in that Jacksonville game.
Yeah, I think the running back situation is really interesting across the board. I think Gainwell and Boston and guys like that you kind of know are going to be in there, but I think between Sermon and Penny, I think that's the battle of kind of figuring out. They're probably a little bit similar as far as body type and the way they run. Maybe Sermon's a little bit better hands, and so I'm interested to see that. I think that is probably positionally on the offense. That's the most interesting thing to me, is just to see who's gonna flash a bit in this preseason. Break off a few runs. Swift had that nice run last week where he was running over people, and so I'm excited to see some more reps from Sermon.
That's what's up. I got a question for you, though. And we ask every guest that comes on here. What was the most random Eagle jersey?
Where were you? Where were you when they signed that?
I got it. I think I've got a either a 14 or a 7 Hoying jersey somewhere in the closet. So Bobby Hoying, the quarterback out of Ohio State back in the day, kind of finished off, I guess, his rookie season with a couple of games where he looked good and everyone thought he was kind of the guy maybe coming into the next season. But it just goes to show you, there's so many intangibles you need to have in addition to just having the ability to be successful as a quarterback, especially as a quarterback in Philadelphia, where the spotlight's always going to be bright. So
yes,
yeah, I got a Hoying jersey. Yeah,
that's
somewhere.
Kind of crazy. That is the most random player
I've
heard.
well, I do. Well, to follow that up, we do have to. We always it goes hand in hand with that. Is what is the craziest Eagles move, whether it be a signing, draft pick, trade, or anything along those lines that the Eagles have made that you threw yourself behind. You're like, yeah, I'm here for it. This is one of those guys. Yeah. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I mean, I think the off season where they signed T.O. and the Freak, like I think really there was no doubt in my mind they were going to the Super Bowl that year. They had been to the NFC Championship previously. There was always this feeling with Andy that it was like our wide receivers are good enough and they're out there getting, treated like bitches against Carolina in the NFC Championship game, And so, when T.O. came in, that by far to me is the most fun I've had watching a season because it was just like showtime all the time and so many must-watch TV. And I was at the Cleveland game that year when T.O. scored 2 touchdowns on the road, and there was the T.O. as B.O. sign in the end zone that he ripped down. And so I think those signings of T.O. and Javon Curse that offseason, there was no doubt in my mind.
You remember game 1? You remember that game, the first game, first play?
How could you not?
McNabb was T.O.
Is that Baltimore?
Yeah,
I can't remember. Yeah. I couldn't remember if that was preseason or if that was the first game of the year. But yeah, I mean, nobody could cover
that right there. Let us know that it was like we got something, y'all. Like, I mean, your first pass is a touchdown to that. I was like, we're in for a season.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That was like my favorite. Looking forward to the season. That was like my favorite time. I don't know about you guys, but that was my favorite time. 2004, like in the 2000s, because we were always in NFC Championship. We got finally got over that hump, and then boom, we were in the Super Bowl. Like that was my favorite time. I was like, because I was in high school. I graduated, and then I think it was my freshman year in college. 2004. Yeah. And I remember wearing my Donovan McNabb jersey. People were like, the Eagles. I'm like, yeah, man. That's where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? And they like, oh, yo, T.O., nice. So, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I was having a convo in my Philly hat group chat, and we were talking about just the era, the fact that like because up until this moment, Philly hadn't been like a popular, fun place like that unless you like if you were from here, you're from there and you knew, but like to the outside world, it really wasn't like. And then it's like you get McNabb, T.O., they're going off. AI's doing his thing. The Sixers are like, must see. It was like all these fun things are going on. The Phillies, like it was like it was all our team. It's kind of like how it is right now. Like guys are winning and making it look good. So
that was me. Growing up in the early '80s, it was Phillies World Series, Phillies, champions, and Eagles in the Super Bowl, and Sixers championship, and Flyers not too, long off of Stanley Cups. And so, when I was young, I was like, oh man, City of Champions, and then we went on a very, very, very long drought. Yeah, as everyone knows, even in the Randall years, we thought, man, we're finally gonna get back there, and just kind of never had the playoff success. And so I think where we are now is definitely it is I think the golden years certainly for for the Eagles. I think
I really believe
and
it
certainly
is.
to start,
100%.
of just that era of of just a really bright future. And I think anyone that's followed my stuff knew, when I started it in 2020, Howie was on the hot seat, man. I liked drawing comics of, talking about, Howie getting run out of town, or, Jeffrey Lurie not being in touch with the fan base. And I think, once they got Chip out of there and Howie came back into the GM position, he was like a man on a mission. And just it's really been an amazing turnaround. You see what the difference a stable front office makes versus kind of some of the stuff we've been dealing with the Sixers recently with the Harden and Morey saga.
I mean, and you're right, man. Like that kind of when you speak that exact moment, actually, it spoke volumes, because like you said, Mr. Lurie kind of maybe being out of touch with the fans, not really knowing. The fact that he made it a point to fire Chip before the season was over, and he did that like to set that tone. Like, I know you guys deserve better. I want better. So it was kind of like, and now we're at a place where you got guys like Myles Garrett saying stuff like this. Yeah. You already know the pot has been stirred.
And the pot is and it's getting worse. And I don't know if you guys have been on the timeline, like he was even on Good Morning America, Good Morning Football, right? It was they're basically saying like the fan base, what would you rather tailgate or something like that, or be dropped off in the tailgate? And they were getting on Peter Schrager, Kyle, and those guys. They're like, there's no question, you got to go to Philly. Like, you're not going to Cleveland. So
Lord pray for that man.
Yeah,
if you're a player that loves sports, not just your own, but going to other sports. I mean, how could you not want to play in Philadelphia? Whether it's the Sixers, obviously we've had our struggles, but I still think lots of big games over the last few years. Phillies the same way. I love seeing guys from all the different teams, showing that brotherly love to the other teams and being at the games and wearing the jerseys and all of that. I don't think you see that in any other sports city in America.
You don't. I mean,
you don't.
And also talking like that, like you said, like it takes a special kind of player. Like, I mean, Harper coming to town, bro, that guy gets it. He's a guy who fully understands Philadelphia and fully embraces it. And like they say, we kind of like the pandering a little bit, but he gets it, bro. Like him to come to the stadium in the Kelly Green Hurts jersey, stuff like that. Having Fanatic themed gear, like. The dude, he knows, like when things ain't good, they ain't good. We hear it, but when you need us, we're over here giving you a standing ovation to lift you off, off your slump.
Yeah.
I think
this is actually cool though. It's actually cool to see like all four teams, well, minus the Flyers, but like majority of our teams in Philadelphia are enjoying like the atmosphere, the environment, everything that's going on in Philly is sports, you know what I'm saying? So it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's cool to see when that happens sometimes in other cities, that one team does well and that momentum kind of carries over. Yeah, but I think, that the energy that was in the ballpark during the Red October, last year, the Phillies run, I think really, I think, just that passion was, the fans showed out, right? So it was just like, and I just feel like that's continued, not only with the Phillies this year, but I think that's going to carry over into the Eagles season, obviously coming off of the Super Bowl as well. I think the tough thing about seasons like this, with like the Eagles is, it's like, all right, man, you wish on some level the playoffs would start tomorrow, right? So you can kind of get back and finish the job. But the reality is it's a long season in the NFL. And I think that's kind of the challenge the Eagles are going to face this year, is just how do they deal with that, having had all that success and climbing the mountain again. But I'm excited because I think they have the right guys in the locker room to make that happen this year as well.
Well, absolutely. And then speaking of Phillies, we gotta bring it up, man. You get your artwork. Not only is the coach wearing it, but your artwork's at the ballpark. Pandemic Brew tailgate lager. Can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, so this is very cool personally for me, but just share a little bit. So I met the Fandemic crew, Brett and Oscar, back in July of 2021. So they
Okay.
had reached out to me, they just on DM and Instagram and said, hey, if you're ever in the area, we'd love you to come to a game. And so I was back there. My parents still are in the area on vacation in South Jersey. So I went back for a week to spend time with them. And so went to the game. And just to say thanks to the Fandemic crew for taking me and my pops to the game, I drew up a poster for them at the time. So pretty early on, it was just something I printed like 13 of them and signed them, and I gave them to them. And so, fast forward a couple years later, we've stayed in contact, here and there and shared each other's stuff. But they reached out to me in April of this year and said, hey, we've been working on it a little while, but we're going to be launching a microbrewery with Red, White, and Beer Brew Company in Audubon, New Jersey. We're going to need some artwork. And so they reached out and, they were talking with a few artists. So I put together some concepts for them. And I came up with that logo was kind of the first thing. And I shared that with them. And they're like, yeah, we definitely want you to do this artwork. So I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that artwork. Those are all like, whatever it is, 27 individual pictures of people that I kind of dropped in there. There were some last minute additions of some wives that were requested to be added in the picture too, which I thought was funny and cool. And so they launched that in July, just kind of as their tailgate beer, always with the idea of hoping to get it into the stadium one day. And so on August 11th, they started selling last week their first Fandemic brews in the stadium. So definitely
that's cool.
They're selling behind section 204 in the Philadelphia Cocktail Company is where you can get it right now. So once the Phillies get back into town, those of you that can get to CBP and partake, please do. It's a nice beer, good for those hot days. You can definitely put some down.
You said, are they available? Can people purchase them anywhere else? You said, but besides at the ballpark,
there are a few local breweries. Obviously, they can at Red, White, and Beer in Audubon. I think the Mile in New Jersey, because it's a Jersey brewery that made it. Generally, they're that's where it's been. So they kind of made a deal with the Phillies to get it into CBP. So with alcohol, they're still working through the distribution laws and
all
pieces
those lines.
as well. And Donkeys, I think, also in Camden.
Hey,
there we go.
Yeah.
Shout out to Donkeys.
Yeah, but thanks for asking about that. Was a cool, really cool project. So never done a beer label and any of that. So you just never know where things kind of lead.
You got the beer can behind you. So can you show them
Yeah.
Fire, bro.
That's dope.
that is dope, bro.
That's super dope, and I love it. It just like we were talking about it. Just as artwork, it's dope too. So definitely,
Philly. I knew the picture was gonna. I wanted the picture to have energy and just the fun that the Fandemic crew has in Section 301. But I also wanted to make the can like something a little bit iconic too. So putting those Philly pinstripes on there, going a little bit with the old school colors. I think for me, I guess I'm an old school guy. I just
that's your era. That's
when I grew, growing up and just kind of those early uniforms. So.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong being an old guy on the porch and yelling, "Get off my lawn." There's nothing wrong with that.
My lawn.
It's the nostalgia. We love it.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously a lot of people love that too, seeing the Kelly Greens come back this year. And I have to give the Eagles an A+ for the execution on the Kelly Greens, like from the socks to the jerseys to the pants, and the helmets, honestly, they've had other Kelly Green jerseys they've done kind of in the past that were, a little more plain, so I wasn't really sure what to expect this year, but like A++ to to executing what they've launched this year with those alternate.
Quick question: how many Kelly Green jerseys did you get?
I got one. I mean, you could probably guess. I had to get my Smitty Kelly Green jersey, so I had to get a little bit smaller size. So either I need to lose some weight, or I need to. Maybe my girlfriend's going to be wearing that. So because I wanted the Fuse jersey, and by the time
that's the one.
They were running out of larges, so I had to go with a medium. So I don't know. It'd be good incentive to work a little harder in the gym.
By any means necessary. So Smitty's your guy for real. He's your man. 100 grand.
Yeah, I remember, watching him in Alabama and seeing him in the national championship game. I was just like, man, if we could just get a guy like that, but he's like scoring touchdowns all over the place. I'm like, there's no way we're getting that guy. Like, he's definitely going to be off the board. So, that was one of those. There have been so many times in my Eagles draft past where you're like, see that player and you see the Eagles slot coming up and you're just like, please, please
don't trade back.
Yeah, exactly.
Trade back. It's the trade back. For me,
it was just, all things kind of came together with Smitty, and I was like, yes, so yeah, he's my guy.
Bro, nothing used to break my heart more than like being excited for day one of the draft. Hurry up and getting home, get me a little sandwich and have a couple brews. I'm sitting on the couch. And then the Eagles just trade back, and then we end up just taking a lineman from like what?
Yeah. or someone that's had an injury history, or something. But I feel like those days are behind us.
Yes,
I really believe they are. I really believe they are too.
Because we're trusting the process with the SEC. We're actually drafting players that big names in college or put in that work. Like, you see it, you know what I mean? So like, because the last debacle pick, I have to say that Jalen Reagor pick, that was the debacle one. Like, I know it was more on Eric Moorhead with that one because I guess he grew up with them and TCU ties and stuff like that. But I was like,
I think Peterson played with his dad, Monte Reagor, so there are a lot of those connections. But that was could you imagine Justin Jefferson on this team? So
you said that. I just talked about that last night.
Yeah.
But for me, when I think about that, I'm always like, man, maybe we wouldn't have gotten Smitty if we'd have drafted Justin Jefferson. So,
that's literally
exactly what he said.
That's literally what I said when he said that. I said, well, we probably wouldn't have Smitty and all these other, and
we'll have
who knows if the AJ Brown trade even happens, because if Jefferson would have been on this team and just had the way he broke onto the scene, maybe Howie's like, well, we're good at receiver, and then we're just rocking with him and Greg Ward.
Yep.
I love Greg Ward.
Yeah. I love Greg. Got that Jason Avant swag to him. I think someone just kind of sure hands and runs good routes. Yeah. Someone you can depend on. You need those guys. You can't have 5 number ones out there. Everyone's got a role to play.
No, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to have all those number ones out there when you can?
Like I said, Greg Ward, he's a baller. I like him. My man is, but like, there is no way that he should be a top option. And you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, he deserves to be on the squad, but there's no way he should be a top option. Like, he was our top option. Was it with him and Wentz when we barely made the playoffs? He was a top
Carson
option.
And the kids. Yep.
Yeah, Carson and the kids. So we had Trey. It was Treggs. Treggs was one of our wide receiver too. Bryce Treggs was our wide receiver.
He? Yeah.
Yes, bro, that was terrible. Travis.
Yeah, look how far we've come.
Yes,
in such a short time too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's what's been amazing about this, because I was trashing Howie and 3 years ago, and so to kind of just see how quickly things turned around, and really I think from an ownership perspective, turning the page on Peterson, I wasn't super happy about that at the time, to be perfectly honest. It took us so many years to win a Super Bowl, and I felt like, this guy deserves some respect, and and maybe he wanted a little more power and a little more say, and so, but that just kind of wasn't the direction I think the Eagles wanted to go in. They wanted a more collaborative effort between the front office and the team, and I was skeptical, like everyone, that first Sirianni press conference, like, oh man, like this guy,
the blumbering.
Yeah, but, I mean, just I'm really proud, really proud of kind of what the organization has built with the front office, and I love listening to Nick's press conferences now, and just I think he's a smart football guy and has just put a lot of process in place that I think you can get repeatable results. And obviously how he's brought in the right players to believe.
So my question is to you though, Greg. Do you think with losing both coordinators, you think that's going to be a little bit of
that's one thing. Yeah, I think that's one thing to watch this year. I think the fact that Brian Johnson and Jalen go back so far, I think just having that off the field relationship will definitely speed up the learning curve of just being good there. So I don't know. Desai is the biggest question mark to me. I think not that I I haven't watched a lot of Chicago Bears tape, and I know he was out here with the Seahawks as well. So I'm interested. He seems like a smart guy. Seems like he's fun to listen to in press conferences, and I think he's talking about all the right stuff. But it's all about when the bullets are flying, can you make the adjustments that you need to make with the scheme to get things done? And so we all saw a lead at halftime evaporate in the Super Bowl, and so those are the things, like there's a fine line with this, just not much of a gap, with this team, as far as like just it's a couple of plays that can win or lose you a championship game. So.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, as
I hope Desai is Jim Johnson 2.0, Air Force Reserve Sergeant Walker.
Man,
that would be great.
From your mouth to the big man's ears, for sure. Cause yo. Oh yeah, go ahead and clear that shot. I know people.
Yeah, I got to get to it. Shout out to the Swoop Boys from After the Huddle podcast. Hey, shout out to the After the Huddle.
I always appreciate After the Huddle. I had some good fun with him on Friday when I tapped in with.
We got to get him on the show one day. We got to get him on the show. We'll see. The AJ Brown trade was completely shot, coming from a Pats fan. Yeah,
I can imagine that.
My childhood playing days. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty of this. Let me get to it.
He was talking about when the city was winning, AI and McNabb and all them.
So what's funny, especially, I was going to say, being outside the area, I talked to so many fans, and I asked them, why are you an Eagles fan if you're, not from Philadelphia? And it's always like, Randall was my guy, loved Randall Cunningham, or McNabb was my guy, McNabb and T.O. So it's always cool to just hear what kind of brought people into fandom for this team, because we've had so many great players over the years, just not always great teams that were able to put it together, when it mattered most in the playoffs. So
well, and you kind of stumbled on something perfect, because you just said West Coast people who live outside of the Philadelphia area. As you know, we are teamed up with West Coast Swoop Nation. West Coast Swoop Nation and Swoop Boys have teamed up. We are throwing the ultimate tailgate. That's right, the ultimate tailgate. And it's coming to you live and direct in LA, baby. King, you want to go ahead and let them know?
Yeah, most definitely, man. $95 per person. It's $45 per kids. We have a kids pack going to the kiddos. When you come, we're going to be having the juices, the candy, everything, all that. We're even going to have little stickers and stuff for them, toys, whatever. We're going to have a lot of stuff. Once you enter the $95, we have a chance to win a free copy of whatever you prefer, Xbox or PlayStation, Madden 24. I know there's been some hiccups. I don't know if this was some crazy. There's some crazy hiccups.
Players hitting the end zone and they're just not moving. And
bro, did you see the one when the quarterback got hit and it looked like he got hit like a Mortal Kombat, like you kick?
Hopefully tomorrow they have all that figured
They
out.
went like 50 feet in the air. Oh man. Hopefully knock them glitches out. And then also we're gonna be giving away 2 Kelly Green jerseys. Also, definitely want to put this in your ear. We have teamed up with Bell and Birdman, so check those guys out.
Bell and the Birdman. And also make sure you're checking out Die Hard Philly for all your fan gear. You know, Die Hard Philly coming in with the freshness. They got the nice dad hats right there with the Die Phil on it, trucker hat. You know what I'm saying? You go ahead and hit them up. You can get a cool tee like this. Winning is for the birds. And that's a phrase that we all agree with. And new. Right now, if you go to our man right here, Greg, go to Brotherly Life Philly. You know, get yourself a good shirt over there. Some of that great art. If you use the new code Swoop Boys 10, Swoop Boys 10, you go ahead and get 10% off of one of his great shirts. So if you go ahead and buy yourself 10 shirts, that's like $100 off your order. I think you guys should go do that right now.
I think you should do that. Buy 10 of them.
Buy 10 of them. And speaking of buying something good from our boy Greg right here, like we said, we are going to the West Coast. We're gonna give you guys a special sneak peek.
Ooh, I can't wait. Hold on.
But my brother here has both of them. We're only gonna give him one. So, Greg, you want to show him the front of the back?
Oh man! Ooh. I think
you can't go wrong.
Probably the front. And this is early. I think this is early work that you guys are going to share. So
yes. This is early.
Some refinement to be made, but yeah, you guys can show them the front. Yeah, show them the front.
Okay, hold on, before you show it.
Go ahead, King. So you can go ahead.
I just want to say something. This shirt is fire, flames. If you probably put it on, it's probably gonna melt off your body. Is just that's how flago this joint is, yo. So I just want to say this before you see it, and everybody in the chat and say in the comments, I want to hear this.
I love it.
You're not allowed to. And if you have a wife, a girlfriend, a boo thing, you can't leave the house with this shirt on without them because you're gonna have to be beating the chicks off you. It's gonna be crazy. And
it's gonna be like an Old Spice commercial.
It's exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the front of the official Swoop Boys tailgate LA Takeover tailgate T-shirt, brought to you by our man Greg right here, and we will have these going up very soon once we get everything situated. Again, rough draft, but I think you guys are all going to be very, very happy with. Come on, man!
Oh my God!
Come on, we got the trunks, the grill, still got the shades on. Knock the ram out, because that's what the Eagles are going to do when we go out there, knocking out the Rams. This might. Greg,
I'm excited. This was early, fast sketch, so this. I'm excited to do a little more work on this for you guys, and so yeah, I'm excited about this. It's
Coach said I need it in a onesie. I ain't mad at that. Bro. This Greg, you absolutely went crazy with that. Just as a rough, like, and when I say this man went ahead and translated, like I threw a couple things at him, and he just completely executed that and went above and beyond. Like, look, man,
but the back, bro.
We can't give it to you guys.
I know.
We can't. But just know.
When I seen it, this is exactly what I said.
Congratulations! Oh my God!
I was crying. Congratulations!
Well, you guys made it easy. You guys at least gave me some good ideas. So I always love when I work with people if they have some idea of what they're looking for, and then just give me a lot of creative wiggle room. Then those are the most fun projects. It's a little hard sometimes when people are like, "Oh, just do your thing." It's like, well, I can do my thing, but like, I want to do your thing.
I want to do yours, yeah.
So,
especially when it's a commission piece. It's like, well, you come to me for a reason. Like, let me bring your vision to life, right? Well, I'm not gonna lie. When you sent me that, I opened my phone and I was just like.
Tell me that was no bar. That was no bar.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
I said, "Oh man, the guys are gonna." I was like, The guys are gonna go crazy for this.
He sent it to me first. I said, "Ooh, ooh."
It was like that thing you hear on TikTok when someone sees this, like, doof. You're like, that's how it sounds. Oh man, it's heavy. So man, I honestly couldn't even picture it any better. Like you went above and beyond, Greg. Like,
well, you're gonna see it better, Rico. That's you're gonna see it better. So
and we're already
the thing might melt.
This is how I feel like this. I feel like Stallone right now, looking like when I look at it. That's how I'm gonna be wearing it when I put the shirt on. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
Yeah. I'm gonna be wearing it just like that in LA.
And that's my issue now. We have this great tailgate. We're gonna have so we will go ahead and do pre-sales. If you do the pre-sale, we'll have everything set up on the site for you guys by the date. If you do it by the date, we will make sure you have it before LA.
Correct.
We will have a very, very limited supply available for purchase in LA. If you want to make sure you're getting your size and you have it for the tailgate, I suggest you go ahead and do the pre-order. That's going to be your best bet. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tap in. We'll have it set up on our site and everything. Well, all that'll come once we get it finalized. However, don't sleep because it's only a one-time thing, and then it's got to go in the vault because it's so dope. Like you got to respect it. So yeah, our man Greg, he went crazy, and he it's gonna get crazy. I didn't even know how, but it will.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I just can't wait to see. They have to see the back of it, but we're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep that.
I'm telling y'all, the back is what really got me being like, am I out? Because I was fully prepared to go to the game wearing my new Kelly Green Hurts jersey, have the one shining on me. Me and my son are gonna be matching in it, and now I'm like.
The times have changed, Charlie.
Now I'm like, do I want it? I might want to just wear the tailgate shirt to the game. Me and Lex go in there, match it up, like,
right?
Because I think people see it. It's just know the front is amazing as the front, and the back brings it all together.
Yeah,
and King, I can. I think I want to send you some. I'll send you some stickers and things for those kids.
For the kiddos. Oh, I appreciate that.
Let's see, man of the people right here. Man of the people.
Good peoples. I have a question though, Greg. What inspired you to start doing what you're doing? Like, you know what I mean? You're just like, I love it. I see it. Okay, boom, here I am.
Yeah, I mean, so I started back in December of 2020. It was, the first year of the pandemic. So I was working from home. Listening to a lot of talk radio. I was raised on talk radio. My dad, that's all that was ever on in the car, in the house, in his shop. I know people have various opinions about talk radio, but I think for me, at least living outside the area now, it helps me stay connected to what the fans are talking about. So listening to a lot of talk radio, and, I always was like, man, I've got something to say, or I heard a caller and I wanted to say something, but I didn't want to, I didn't have the time to be on the phone for 2 hours to, waiting to get on, and didn't necessarily have any interest in being like a caller personality. But, I was always a pretty good artist growing up as a kid. I always doodled through my life, but I kind of got away from doing art for a large part of my life. But the pandemic, a lot of people started doing lots of crazy things, making sourdough bread or, whatever. And so I kind of rediscovered and rekindled just this love of drawing. And so listening to sports talk, I was like, man, I could do like a little Philadelphia sports related comic strip or something. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be a way for me to share. And so I just started my Instagram handle and started posting stuff out, and had a, good reaction initially from friends and family, just kind of getting started, and things kind of grew from there. So didn't have a plan, never thought about, I want to grow my social media presence. It was just an outlet for me to share things. And so just grew from there.
Yeah. And now you're doing stuff like,
a little.
Y'all see what I did there?
People are gonna be going back to the broadcast now, Rico, and trying to do a screen freeze to see what the back of the shirt looks like.
That's why you got to go all the way. You wait for the hour mark and be like, dang. Yeah, man.
Give him the Pacific time.
59:35, y'all. Man, I mean, Greg, man, for you to, I mean, so you said you doodled through most of your life on and off, but for you to like, so you like for you to be doing stuff like this is like next level, though.
Well, it's funny, if you go back and look at my early stuff, I was just drawing, I was drawing on paper and taking pictures and just posting it to Instagram. I wasn't even doing anything digitally. So if you go back to my early stuff, like I didn't even really know kind of what my style was. I was drawing Peanuts characters, Charlie Brown and Linus, and putting them in Eagles gear or Flyers gear and that sort of stuff. So I loved Peanuts growing up. To this day, I'm a big Charlie Brown fan. You read those things as an adult sometimes, and it just hits you differently than probably when you were a kid. There's a lot of insight in some of that stuff. And so you can see that influence, I think, in my artwork still today. And so just kind of evolved my own style from there. But like anything, it just, I see other artists work and I'm like, oh man, like I'm not even close to do it, but I just kind of keep trying to get better every day. Take the Sirianni approach, 1% better.
Hey,
starts with the roots, man. It's all
you gotta
flowers.
You gotta milk the flowers, you know what I'm saying? And soil.
But
it's
interesting. It's interesting you say that because as I'm looking at that, you're saying like Peanuts. So for me, it gives me like this 90s era of cartoon almost like. That's like my era. I'm born in 88, so I really was here for the 90s, the Nickelodeon era. And I'm looking at something like that, and it kind of gives me like Doug. Like Doug was one of my favorite things. And it kind of gives me like that kind of 90s cartoon nostalgia, like old school.
I'm right behind you. Like this reminds me of like waking up and it's Sunday morning or Saturday morning, whatever, and you get the newspaper from your pops because he's
what?
You're looking
what?
The newspaper. Yes. I'm that.
What are you talking about there, Sonny?
Kids are missing out on that these days. I mean,
and then you look on the back of it. You look on the back of it, and there's comics on there. And I'll be honest with you, that's how I learned how to read. I taught myself how to read during comics because I was the type of kid like I didn't want to read that boring stuff. Yeah. So you see that and then you see the pictures and you're like, okay, man, like what is he saying there? And that's how you learn how to, kids have their own mechanisms, how they work and through their minds and stuff like that. So that's why I say I'm a big fan of what you do. Keep on doing it, man. I should have worn the shirt, but I couldn't find it.
I used to have to go to the newspaper to get the movie times when I was a young man. Now you kids have Fandango.
That's kind of crazy when you think of that. But it's a nostalgic era, and man, I do my hat's off to you, man. I appreciate your work because it does bring back a very heartfelt time. So thank you very much. Your art it's perfect. Like, and I think it definitely shows Philly, man. Sunday morning comics, yeah, man, absolutely.
I miss it.
Yeah.
Now these kids have iPads and stuff like that. And it's funny because I talk to my daughter when we go to a restaurant. I'm like, what would you do if you didn't have that? I don't know. I'm like, what happens to just being quiet and sitting there and talking to your family or getting the 2 crayons and whatever the restaurant gives you, you just do the puzzle and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I miss that.
Yeah. And if folks do follow me, in addition to the artwork, every Saturday I do post a schedule of all 5 major teams in the city. What's going on for the week. And, that started more out of necessity for me. I was like, okay, I want to draw some stuff this week. I want to know what's going on. It's not always easy to keep up with times because there are weird times on the West Coast. And so I created that for myself just on a whiteboard in my office. And then I was like, man, why doesn't this already exist? Like I should be able to find someone else publishing this. And so I just started doing it and got a lot of positive feedback from people. And so just grew into something I decided I would share that I really didn't have any intention of sharing when I
dude, let me tell you, that was actually one of the things that I first started noticing about your page. and I have the countless screenshots that I have now because when you post that up, I screenshot it, so I'm good to go, and it's right there for me for the week. I'm like, all right, I got 3 Phillies games. I got, like when the Sixers were still playing, I got a couple Sixers games. Perfect, we're good to go. You're a godsend. Not all heroes wear capes. I mean it.
Thanks.
Did King say you gotta milk the flowers? I think he said water the flowers.
I thought I said water the flowers. My fault.
You can milk anything though. You can milk anything, Cozy.
Yeah, Cozy, Mr. Technicality.
Well, we don't want to keep you all day, Greg, man. But it's been
we got a game to get ready for.
Yeah, we got a game to get ready for, but I do have any last minute thoughts, anything coming up that you want to go ahead and share with the good people, besides that amazing tailgate tee.
No, I think for, brotherlylifephilly.com is my website, where I've got all my stuff up. Lots of t-shirts, got the Jumpman Jalen kind of t-shirts out there now. Putting up more art on a weekly basis, so get out there and check it out, and give me a follow at brotherlylife_Philly, and
just like you guys see it right there.
Drop me a DM. Love talking sports with Philly sports with people in the city, outside the city, West Coast, wherever, man. I mean, it's amazing how big our fan base has grown into. I got followers, Eagles Eagles group in Germany, Eagles, Phillies groups in the UK. I mean, we've gone global, man. Philly sports have gone global. It's crazy.
You heard Mr. Lurie when he was right on the head when he said that, or where Merrill said this is for Philly fans everywhere, and that's absolutely what it was. We're all over the place now.
Oh, before you go, Greg, I got one question. What does your Mount Rushmore look like? Eagles edition.
Oh yeah, we'll end with that. Go ahead. That's rough.
I mean, Dawkins has to be on there. I think from that 2000s era. That's Dawkins. I think I got to go Reggie as well. Just because I think that him and that defense defined kind of such an era. So I think those are two defensive players. I'll go. Man.
Hard one.
I mean, I'm gonna have to put Nick Foles on there. I mean, the only guy to deliver a Super Bowl as a quarterback. I mean, I know the longevity's not there, but as far as the impact on the franchise and outgunning the GOAT in one of the highest scoring Super Bowls ever is kind of something that's amazing. And last one on there. Oh man. God, I'm really struggling.
This is where it makes it hard.
There's so many good. There are a lot of good choices, man.
You could say there is no wrong one.
No,
there is no wrong one.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Randall. Maybe Randall. Maybe Randall. Just because I think Randall to me is like Randall was so ahead of his time. I mean, so ahead of his time as a player. Like there was no one running around and slinging the ball and punting the ball, whatever, 99 yards. So I think that's
he was the epitome of Jalen, breed of one.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, there's something I might have in the works that has a little maybe Randall and Jalen kind of incorporated into there. So
the one that you and I talked about. The one that you and I talked
about.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out. So something in the works. And last year I did do a poster artwork for every game. So I'm still kind of deciding. That was definitely an undertaking, and I'm hoping at some point I can do an official poster for the Eagles that they give out at the stadium. But for now, I'll just keep trying to get better, making posters on my site. So
for sure.
Speaking of, I got to get that. I'm gonna grab that one from you today. But Greg, thank you. Everybody who tuned in, we appreciate you guys always. You already know the Swoop Boys. Greg, stick with us after we had that with the song. That way we can rap with you for one more second.
For sure. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate you having me on. This was awesome.
Hey,
joining,
we
man.
appreciate it. King, you got any good thing left for the good people?
Yeah, man. Thanks for rocking us. Y'all had the chat jumping as usual. It's so. I want to say this. My gratitude to everybody that supports us, comes on here. It's Thursday in the middle of the day, so thank you so much, man. Like, we try to bring you content for your lunch break, and just try to do our job. And Greg, our guest, thank you so much. And them shirts is fire, be
fire. And on that note, y'all got to clock back in, so get back to work. We out.